The nonprofit On Broadway making big announcements at the state of the Broadway District in downtown Green Bay in front of a record-setting crowd today.
Organizers sharing they're at the halfway point for the fundraising effort for the public market, and the project will be done in time for the NFL draft in 2025. Emily Byer was at the event and shares the latest developments in this First Alert update.
How many people are going to come to this town to experience it and see how cool we are and how cool your businesses are? That's the win. The friends that we are going to make.
The 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay had many at the ceremony beaming with anticipation for the future.
Green Bay Public Market. I get asked about this every single day.
Several projects already in the works, including the public market, have people excited.
Having something like that come out of the community here and just increasing the vibrancy in the downtown area is just something everyone is looking forward to and is really excited about. So I think people are just excited to see more activation and more things to do in Green Bay.
On Broadway, Executive Director Brian Johnson says they've officially secured half of their $12.5 million fundraising goal for the public market located in the old Ford Square space.
We are going to start some selective demo on this next month. And selective demo is like taking out certain pieces where you don't have to do a lot of disruption. You're kind of respecting, the tenants that still occupy the space until they exit. But it allows us to get a head start on it. So engineering is progressed. We're working on construction documents right now. Our goal is to have this space open and operating before the NFL draft.
There were also several announcements on housing in the downtown area. The Broadway Lofts added 107 units to the Broadway District. It's full right now with tenants, and city leaders say more housing is needed. The fort at the rail yard is under construction and will add another 233 units to the district.
This is going to be scaled housing. Some will be market rate, some is subsidized based on your income.
They're expecting to start leasing in late summer or early fall this year. Leaders also unveiled some newly proposed plans, such as the truck yard at the Tarleton, which would be downtown Green Bay's first urban food truck park.
This is sort of a vision of how you can turn this into a food truck court. We see these a lot in other cities. And so how do you bring in just an environment where food trucks can easily gain access?
With all the talk of big projects and the future, there was also time to reflect on the hard work of organizers and volunteers. On Broadway hosted 58 events in 2023, clocking in more than 4,000 volunteer hours by 547 volunteers. The next public announcement for On Broadway is expected to come in the next month. It'll include more updates on the Green Bay public market. In Green Bay, Emily Byer, Action 2 News.